Hello and welcome. This will be a two-subject video dated May the 13th, 2020. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. The two subjects being that of silver and Korean baseball, and in particular looking for an edge on the betting line. Now, you may think that I'm really good with the chart analysis, maybe, and stuff like that. And maybe I am, but my true expertise in this world is Korean baseball and understanding not maybe how to pronounce people's names or understanding why everyone's got the name Park or of the like, but understanding Korean baseball. We'll get to that in a bit, but first, silver, which very interesting how I've seen the physical market on the supply and demand. I'm just going to say that I haven't seen anything like this where it's hard to get a lot of silver on there. In fact, I was looking at silvergoldbull.ca where I like to buy from, or where I do buy from rather, and I guess both would be true there. And for bars, 10-ounce bars, it's about $2.85 to $2.95 Canadian. All they have are Sunshine Mint or Silvertown. And for 1-ounce bars, it's only Sunshine Mint, and they're over $30 an ounce. And then, that's Canadian. And it's $21 and change, like close to 22 Canadian. The markups, it's been really, really big and for good fundamental reasons. Now, technically, from the decline on here, price action comes up to this random line of some sort, we'll say, and it just happened to resist it. Happened to resist what I call the 18 average of the lowest prices on a front-weighted level. And I guess I don't call it too much, but that's what it is. I like how a few days of just holding in here within it, but it still has to break north of the significant line of about really 15 3/4 and really even noticeably north of 16. You see such 16.10, 16 low change sort of deal. I like the chance it's going to move up to 17 and maybe even pierce higher than that, up to even 17.5 as its next leg higher. There's really not much more else to show. I've talked a lot about the long term and the reasons why I feel silver is very, very important. So I'm going to leave it at that and then move to my expertise, which is Korean baseball. Again, all bets, trades, and of the like within each's own risk and their own reward. So this is my analysis for two games, dated May the 14th. These games will have first pitch at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't even know what the lines are, but I've already done my analyses for these games. The two that I'm pointing out is SK versus LG, the LG Twins. I'm looking to play them on the run line and maybe over the total for the game, but I think there's a nice little mismatch here where I like the LG play better. I'm expecting them to be a decent-sized favorite at that as well. But I think that the media is going to be giving number 50, and I don't want to pronounce his name, Mr. Park, but 37% of the league almost, but not quite as named Park. Over 4% though. And they must start for that level. Then that means in betting terms, and you can do that with baseball, and if you can, I think that's a must do, especially if you're going to be sleeping at that time. And that is, if he doesn't pitch, then whatever the line changes to, doesn't matter. You're not playing. The bet is void, nullified, pushed, and you get your refund of your currency for whatever you bet back. And it's a protection thing because, quite frankly, this pitcher is horrible. Well, if you don't believe, just check out his last 10 starts as well as his career KBO stats. 150 whip, walks and hits per inning pitch. Good job, buddy. It's bad. I'm looking at they have a stat for quality starts. Well, how about unquality starts? Almost like 7 of his last 10 were unquality. 2 were quality starts. Winning 1, losing like 7. 1 and 7 in his last 10 games. Looked terrible his last game in a no decision. Tyler Wilson starts for LG, and he is a first-year KBO Major League reject. And it's common because I'm a KBO expert. I know these types of things. Where Major League Baseball players who don't fare too well out will move over to a smaller league, like, of course, the KBO, and then see how well they do there. And some will do better, so he's going to make his second career start in this league. He did have a high K for 9. For what it's worth, it was under 1, but it was like 0.9. which means he'd get 9 strikeouts per 10 innings in the AAA associates of the minor leagues. And he didn't fare that well versus the Dinos in his last start. It wasn't horrible, though. That's adding over to the mix. But the SK hitters they're playing against, I mean, I don't think they're horrible, too bad, but they're not good. And if anything, I think they do suck. And the Dinos, whom Tyler Wilson faced in his first start, they're the best hitting team in the league, it looks like. No, does it look, I'm an expert. I'm the biggest KBO guy, so it looks like. I know this, yeah, of course. Kia versus Han. Although I don't know if Han's pronounced that way. Again, I'm an expert. Play Kia on the run line and or money line. I don't even know who's going to be favored. I wouldn't be surprised if Han is favored, which would make it nice to get a plus money if you can get it. And I'm very big on Kia's starter, who is Drew. But his counterpart, number 36, leaves a lot to be desired. And, of course, he must start, too, for this as well. Same deal. A career 5.64 earned run average, 1.66 walks and hits per inning pitch, and 474 career innings pitched. Now, in all seriousness, I never even knew the KBO existed before a little over 2 weeks ago, when I found it was available to play in fantasy sports. And baseball is what I'm looking for. I don't care if it was major leagues, minor leagues, any of these other leagues, independent leagues, I guess I can call them, or any league in that matter. I don't care if it's college, high school. Heck, I remember when I played when I was in high school. I'd play high school baseball. Because I remember I was even thinking as a kid, well, if I could play fantasy sports back when I was a kid that way, I could actually profit on it. It would be so easy. As long as it's baseball. And so far, so good, as I've been able to put up very productive numbers playing it within fantasy. But there's so many different variables in being a fantasy player. First, you need the metagame, which I've come up with. And then you want to go even larger in just knowing more things. One of these 2 games, which is the SK at LG, is a game I can bet within in itself. So I'm going to be very big within the side of LG Twins. Thus, I will not be playing number 50 on my fantasy roster, but I'll be playing some Tyler Wilson and some other players as well. And I will not be making these bets that I'm putting up, mainly because I'm looking for my highest return on investment. And it is not playing it this way. When I calculate, I should be making an individual game showdowns, as they call it on DraftKings. I got to say much greater, and it has been much so far, than 50% return on investment. And then in what they call the classic games, between 20 to 30% of a return on investment. And then that's where I'm going to be focusing within playing these games. And then when the major leagues come in, I might withdraw from becoming a KBO expert. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.